He stood frozen before his sister, his heart bursting with both joy and fear. She was here, yet she felt like a stranger. She laughed, she spoke, she touched his hand, but with every gesture, he felt the heavy emptiness of the stolen memory. Days passed. Haru tried desperately to remember, to reconnect the broken thread between them, but it was like chasing the shadow of a dream. No matter how hard he tried, there were pieces of her that felt alien. The way she tilted her head when she pondered, the small dimple that appeared on her left cheek when she smiled, the exact shade of green in her eyes.
Ow.
All of it was both familiar and strange, like a half-remembered melody from a forgotten song. One night, while staring into the endless sky, he saw a faint light falling deep into the forest, the same place where the antique shop once stood. Driven by something he couldn't name, Haru ran into the forest. The air grew colder, the trees denser, the path harder to find. But he pushed on, the image of that light pulling him forward like a moth to a flame. There, hidden among the wild grass, he found a small broken clock. Its golden hand was still, but it pulsed with a faint living light. Haru reached out to touch it, and suddenly memories flooded him. Laughter, promises, silent nights under the stars. They were beautiful, precious moments, yet they were tinged with a deep sadness that mirrored the ache in his chest. He saw her looking at him with eyes full of love and trust, and he felt the overwhelming urge to protect her, to shield her from the darkness that had befallen him. But he couldn't, because woven between these memories was another, more sinister thread. Faces twisted with malice, voices echoing with cruel laughter, and then the moment he lost her. It wasn't an earthquake or a flood that took her away. It was him. The realization hit him like a tidal wave, knocking the breath from his lungs and stealing the color from his world. He fell to his knees, tears blending with the cold earth beneath him. It's the memories, they weren't his. They belonged to someone else, someone who had loved and lost, just as he had. The antique shop, the clock, it was all a cruel trick of fate, a macabre jest that had robbed him of his chance at happiness. In his desperation, he'd bargained for a second chance, but he'd forgotten the price. It was a chance to love her all over again, to relive their shared past without the knowledge of what was to come. And now he was faced with a choice: keep the beautiful lie and let her go, allowing her to live the remainder of her days in ignorance, or embrace the painful truth and risk shattering the fragile present they'd built together. He looked down at the broken clock in his hands, its fractured form mirroring the shattered state of his heart. With trembling fingers, he placed it back where he found it. A silent promise to honor the memories it held, even if they weren't his. As the first rays of dawn touched the forest floor, he turned to leave, his steps lighter than they had been in weeks. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: he couldn't keep her trapped in a world that wasn't hers. The truth, however painful, deserved to be set free. Haru smiled through his tears and whispered, "Some dreams are not meant to come true." He left the broken clock behind, under the watchful gaze of the stars, and walked into the unknown. His heart broken but real once again.